Welcome to Agrigento in southern Sicily. So, we arrived from Catania in the morning to Agrigento, from where we will embark to the Valley of Temples. So, we arrived at around 11 a.m. and we left Catania around 7:30 a.m. Right? And I think you already know that we tried to buy train tickets yesterday to Agrigento. But however, the train is through Messina and Palermo, and it takes almost a day to get here by train. However, last night, by a stroke of luck, I found a flexibus. There are many different bus providers, but the flexibus, not flexibus, I think it's flexbus or something. Anyway, so that bus provider left Catania station, and it was cheap as well, 10 euros per person one way, and I bought the return ticket, and here we are in Agrigento, sorry. Now we grabbed a sandwich, and now we got the tickets for the bus to the actual Valley of the Temples. It's just a 30-minute walk, but we'll get the bus, right? Why should we walk in the sun? And I'll show you the Valley of the Temples. While we were on the way to Agrigento by the bus, it was all just vineyards and all kinds of agricultural land on either side of the road. We passed several towns, small towns. Yeah, that's about it. But so this looks like a tourist information center, welcome point. We'll ask them where the bus is actually. Agrigento. Terra means terrain. I mean, my Italian is not great, but terra should mean terrain, and I can relate to the image as well. Aqua, of course, water. Aria, trees maybe. Rocco.
Plaza.
Okay. Have to go to the plaza. So many people in Italy can't speak much English, but we can communicate, right?
Yeah, we just need to show the location in the map.
And some Italian words are close to English,
Yeah.
so we can somewhat identify. That dog. Get the dog. Okay, we are at the most elusive train station in Sicily, the Agrigento Central. So you can only come here through Palermo. You can't take direct trains from Catania. And I think this is the bus stop. This is the Valley of the Temples map. You can see all the maps. Temple of Concordia is I think the biggest and best preserved one. I mean, we are just mere kilometers away. I mean, across the Mediterranean from the African coast. I mean, the climate and everything doesn't feel anything like Europe. And Agrigento was a Greek colony, like 500 years before Christ. So it was a very big city, and to give you just a little bit of rundown of the history. So it has thousands of years of history, and the Greeks built some temples here, and the city was big. Then came the Romans, and so on, and the city was lost for a while. And yeah, that's Agrigento's history. Agrigento is not the actual name of the Greek name, but there was some other name in Wikipedia, but yeah, Agrigento is the Italian name. Okay, we took bus number 1 from near the Agrigento train station, and we were dropped off here. It's like the main entrance to park. I believe you need to buy a ticket
Yep.
to enter.
Yep.
And let's go and check it out. And there seems to be tour buses as well, because it's a big park. We already came past a few temples. Yeah. Let's see. I don't think you can walk to each location, right?
No, no.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Okay, the ticket is 34 euros. They gave us the option of audio guide or the paper guide. We chose the paper guide for additional 5 euros. But it doesn't include a map.
Yeah, there's no map in the book.
Right, they said 2 kilometers up and 2 kilometers down. Something like
It's
that.
good for us.
Yeah. We'll just follow everybody, I think. There are some people walking, we'll just follow them. Oh, feels good to be here. Just by the road, there's a path. I can see some, at a glance, looks like rocks, but you can see human-made engravings on it. So there's a huge heap of unexcavated archaeological locations here. Okay, we are here. Looks like this is the entrance to the city. So it says gate 5 or porta 5. Porta V means Roman numeral V, gate number 5. Okay, the Greek name for Agrigento is Akragas. So we are at the sanctuary of the Clothic deities. Clothic means earth deities. You understand? Okay. Okay, I'm at the Temple of Hercules. So this this. So we during this trip we have talked about Gothic architecture when it comes to churches, Gothic architecture, Romance architecture, right? Different Baroque architecture styles. So when it comes to these Greek temples, this architecture is called Doric architecture. You see, the Doric architecture doesn't have a base at the columns, and also it goes up and then a simple that dome kind of thing. So this is a main feature of the Doric architecture. So most of the temples we found in this valley of temples is belongs to the Doric style. So you also notice that the columns are made up of different blocks. And this column here doesn't have the other blocks. They have fallen down. So yeah, there's some things that I've noticed. Okay, this is the Temple of Concord. I think the most well-preserved temple of all the temples in this valley. So I think the reason why this is so well preserved is that during like 500 AD, the Bishop of Agrigento converted this into a church. That's why this is so well preserved. So I'll take you around, and I mean, if you come here, I'm not an expert, but you can see a clear difference between the columns. The first row of columns is kind of the back row of columns. The back row of columns looks newer than the front row, which means they were constructed later. I'm not an expert, but it looks like that. Temple of Concord. So now we'll go around and give you a more closer look inside the temple. So you see the curved semicircular arches? I think those were Romanesque, like 1500 AD.
I guess they wanted to be high up here.
The outer columns, Greek, flat, no arches, right? And there's arch. So arches were a thing of the Romans. That's why you called it Romanesque. And the Greeks didn't know the art of arches. It's really hot, and we just saw what we wanted. I think it's a shop to buy something to drink. It's just past Temple of Concordia, and we can almost see the other temple as well. We have Temple of Juno or Huno, I don't know, because it starts with J. Temple of Juno, Lacinia. Yeah, so it says it was also built in the BC era but was later restored by the Romans. So it's also in pretty good condition. Temple of Juno. So it's difficult to walk back because in this heat there's this golf cart service with €4 per person one way. It's there. We can catch it. We can get a quick. We can easily ride back to the gate.
Mi sembrava eravate entrata adesso, per questo
No, noi siamo da stamattina.
siamo partiti da sotto. E avete fatto, siete saliti. Siete saliti e adesso dovete riscendere.
No, non siamo mai scesi. Siamo sempre rimasti su, cioè abbiamo fatto tutto.
Okay. So we'll be on trains, planes, ferries, and now go-karts. Buses and go-karts. Golf carts.